So Michelle, we're going to go over another option for respirator protection. This is called a MaxAir capper. It kind of falls under the heading of what we call a PAPR, which is a powered air purifying respirator. And I'm going to go through pieces and parts, tell you how it works, and then give you a run through on how to put it on. Okay, so pieces and parts include the helmet itself. We need to have what we call a disposable lens cuff. They come in a box, and there are two sizes. This one is a small medium, and this one is a medium large. And so I would recommend probably a medium large for you. And so we'll come back to that. In addition, we need a battery belt, a battery, and then we have a comfort strip for hygiene purposes. You also may incorporate a OR bonnet or a bouffant. All right, so we'll set some of this a little bit out of the way. When we're talking about the battery, we'll know what the charge is once we plug it into the helmet. When this light here is turned green, it means it's fully charged. If it's red, then it's still in the charging mode. Okay. Okay. When we look at the helmet, we want to take a quick look-see and make sure that everything is intact. These little flaps should be snapped in so that they're even on each side. The cord should always be plugged into the helmet. It never should be unplugged. Otherwise it is broken. And on the inside here we can see a map of what the lights mean. So these little pictorials will tell you what each color means. And when it goes through its initial setup, it'll have 1 yellow, 3 green, and a red. If you're wearing it and see a yellow light on, that means that there's a fan or filter problem, and so you would want to exit the space that you're in and report the helmet is not working and get something safe before you return into the room. All right, the air is pulled in to the helmet through the gap on the side. It's pulled down through the small micron HEPA filter, and then the filtered air is blown through the little holes in the front. And when you have the face shield attached, as we'll do here, then you will be able to have a space of filtered air for yourself. When you do pull it out of the box, you'll see that there's a liner that needs to be removed. So you pull that off just like any electronics that we get or something. You want to make sure that's off so that when you have the helmet on, it's nice and clear for you to see in. You'll notice that there are 3 holes at the top here, and they match up to the 3 posts on the helmet. So I am going to snap, wrap, and snap. And then we want to fold the little triangle out here so that it sticks just past the post so that it can hold it in place. All right. In addition, we want to make sure that the ratchet knob is all the way open before you put it on. And now we're going to place the comfort strip. So comfort strip is easy to put on if you bend it and then do a little test. If it sticks real well, then you know you've got the correct side. If it's not sticking well, just flip it over. You want to smooth that out so it stays adhered. All right. Now we're going to get ourselves ready, and to do that you can use a battery belt. This is recommended because it will hold the weight of the battery. It also won't fall off of the belt easily, so it's more preferable to wear the battery belt than it is to put it in your pocket or on your waistline. All right, so just adjust the size to fit, and then as I said, you can use a bouffant for hygiene purposes. And we want to take a look at the battery, make sure that there is no bulges, cracks, any kind of basic problem with it. then we're going to plug it in. When we plug it in, we're going to watch here for 5 lights to turn on. And I'll have you just kind of hold that there so you can watch for the lights and pop this in. Okay, so all 5 lights illuminated. And now we've got how many?
3.
Okay, 3. So 3 indicates a full charge. And so 2 would be 2/3, 1 would be about 1/3 of a battery. And then when the red light comes on, you want to change your battery. And again, anytime you see a yellow light come on after the initial setup, that would indicate there's a fan or filter problem. Okay, so the next step would be to place your battery on your belt, and then you're going to put your PAPR on. So I like to hold it from side to side, and then you're going to put it over your head and pull this underneath your chin so that it's smooth, and then tighten your ratchet knob so that when you are moving around it doesn't come off. While you're wearing this, you will be able to see the reflection of the lights and keep track of what your battery strength is and if there's any warning lights that come on. A nice feature about it is you can change the fan speed, so even when it's on, you can reach back and find the fan speed. The right speed is whatever's comfortable for you. Now the battery is a bit affected by fan speed, of course, so we say 4 to 6 hours on a full charged battery, depending on the fan speed. All right, so once you have your helmet on and your battery in place, you go ahead and put the rest of your PPE on, your gloves, your gown, and head into the patient's room. So, do you have any questions?
No.
Okay. All right. When you are done doing your duties in the patient's room and ready to leave, you are going to remove your gloves and your gown and wash your hands. Exit the room and put on a new set of gloves and begin what we call a doffing process. So you'll release the ratchet, kind of tuck your chin down, roll the helmet off and set it on the table, something that can be wiped off, and then you'll remove your battery from your belt. Go ahead and unplug that. You want to press the blue button and pull the cord just like that. All right, and that turns it off. Remember to not unplug it from the helmet. All right, then we will remove the face shield. This is also called officially a disposable lens cuff. That's why it says DLC. And then the comfort strip. And both of these items get tossed in the garbage. Of course, if you use the hairnet, it would also get tossed. Then you want to wipe the inside, outside, cord, battery, and belt, and put that back in the storage area. For the battery, if you place it on the charger and plug it in and the red light comes on, then you can go ahead and leave it plugged in. If the green light comes on, you can unplug it and leave it next to the charger. Any other questions or thoughts on that?
No.
Okay, that is how you use a PAPR. And one other thing I'd like to cover is that when you have a choice between a PAPR and an N95, they both essentially do the same thing. But with an N95, your breath is being filtered as well as you are being filtered for protection. But with the PAPR, your air is being pressed out into the room, and that could compromise a sterile field. So it's recommended to use an N95 if you're in a sterile setting, and for the PAPR, you can pretty much use it any other setting except for the sterile setting. So, alrighty?
All right.
All right. And we'll give you your handout, and then we'll sign the document, and you can have a copy of this as well.
Perfect.